Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
First of all, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my friends and also to my many enemies. Once again, this is another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off, and today we got a major victory here in Cook County. But first, because of this victory, I'm going to do something a little bit different than I ever did on this show before. I'm going to take the time to celebrate this victory with one of my favorite drinks. This is for the brothers who ain't here to experience this victory. Good. Now, all of you all who just saw me do this, you're probably wondering how come I did that with my favorite bottle of my all-time favorite kind of a pop next to fruit flavors. That's because here in Cook County today, it is law, it is official. The sugary drink beverage tax here in Cook County is officially repealed, effective December 1st. Christmas came early for us this year. That's how come you noticed that in the opening of the program, I played a little bit of a Christmas song by one of my favorite artists around that I like to listen to around that time, Mr. Johnny Mathis. Because Christmas definitely came early for us this year. And in this today was the day of the final board meeting concerning this issue. And they still had, some public speakers. And I'm going to play for you a few of the public speakers and things that they had to say. But most people who spoke were very, very grateful that the Cook County Board decided to repeal this tax, and they were giving their thanks and gratitude to the board for having done so. So I am going to play you these clips. I think it's like 3 of them. It's not as many as yesterday's program, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary. So y'all watch these clips while I celebrate.
Next speaker is Rick Payne from Chicago Dough Company. The next speaker is Jesse Singh from Lansing Sitco. Following Mr. Singh will be Kyle Kelly, Rick Brown, Edgar Vasquez, and William Behan.
Morning, Madam President, and all the commissioners. I just want to say thank you for everything you have done, and that way Cook County has brighter days ahead of us. We can all work together, and I want to thank our Commissioner Moore for the wonderful work yesterday, and hope we can get this all taken care of. And as a business owner, we are all willing to work together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Kyle Kelly from the Nation Connoisseur. Next speaker is Rick Brown from Uncle John's Barbecue. The next speaker is Edgar Vasquez from Hyde Park Taco Stand. Next speaker is William Behan from Behan Oil. The next speaker is Marshall Pierce from Jesse's Meat Market. The next speaker is Michael Johnson from Wesley's Mama May Burgers. The next speaker is Tariq El Nazir from Noble Street Pantry. Michael Delaney. Marcel Simmons. Mike McNeil from Dr. Pepper Snapple.
Marcel.
After Mr. Simmons is Mike McNeil, Wesley Adams, Marco Alcina, Matt Dixon, and Jeremy Nancy. Marcel Simmons.
Hello, how you doing? It's Marcel Simmons. Yesterday I came before you and I spoke on how I thought it was a good idea to repeal the tax because it was affecting a lot of businesses in the area, including myself. I would travel a little further, especially if I had my wife and the kids with me for a bigger break. But today, when I walked in the building, I looked up and I saw the W. And it made me think about how people, when we come together, we can make anything happen. The Cubs was not a winning team, but we all got behind them, we flew the W flag, and we won. So I said that to say that people are programmable. And that's the reason why we have commercials. You cannot want a burger and you see that commercial, it'll make you hungry. And I think it would be a good idea if we would ask people for money instead of trying to take it. So for example, when you go to Walmart, they can say, would you like to contribute $1 to the Cook County, whatever. We can set up our own GoFundMe, so to speak. And it doesn't have to be GoFundMe, just to support Cook County, which I would gladly give because I live here. So if we would just come up with some kind of way to ask people for the money, I'm sure a lot of us would, especially if at the cash register, will donate. Set up a donation, some kind of way, and make people aware, billboards, commercials, and it will work. Make it a flag, fly it, people will support. That's it.
The next speaker is Mike McNeil from Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. Wesley Adams from Dr. Pepper Snapple Group.
Fine to speak, but I extend gratitude to all the commissioners that agreed on the
Next speaker is Marco Alcina from Dr. Pepper Snapple Group.
But I also like to thank all the commissioners who voted to repeal the tax.
Next speaker is Matt Dixon from Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. Next speaker is Jeremy Yancey from Dr. Pepper Snapple Group.
I decline to speak, but I want to send special thanks to the commissioners and especially Ms. Sims for making that hard decision that you made yesterday. Thank
The
you.
next speaker is Mark Lovelace from IBI IPO. Following Mr. Lovelace will be Tangi Holmes Brown, Walter Davis, Ron Chandler, and Alicia Spencer.
Thank you, Madam President, and members of the Board of Commission. I'm Mark Lovelace. I'm the chair of the Community Affairs Committee for IBI IPO. As you know, Independent Board of Illinois, independent precinct organization has been involved in electoral politics and public policy for well over 70 years. We don't necessarily propose perfect policy, but public policy. Agreed upon opinions of things that would improve the quality of life of all people. I understand you have a very sober decision to make today. IBI has taken a position that we support the sweetened beverage tax for both the public health as well as the economic reasons that come before it. If repealing this act is what you do, and without a plan of how we are going to meet the needs of folks, then that will be a question that if you do not answer now, we will ask you at every endorsement session that we will have.
That's right.
I know that this is a trying time. As I said, it's a very sober time. Democracy has been talked about the last 24 hours as if it's something that we just found. Democracy has always had to have leadership at it. It has always had to have some form or framework that it flourishes in. Democracy just doesn't bend to the will of the people. If we just went on that course, we would have never had the Civil Rights Act. The bus boycott and settlement would have never been settled. The greatest settlements have come when people of great ability, commitment, and dedication propose, again, not perfect public policy, but public policy that looks in the furthest advantage for all those who are in need. This county does a wonderful thing. Before the American Care Act kicked in, this county was an example for the country with county care.
1 minute.
We have to provide opportunities that present that type of sober, level-headed opinion beyond the hoopla and excitement of everything here. Is it this person's job or that person's job? That's not it. What it is it's all of our job responsibility. So I would hope that you would not repeal this as I'm representing the Independent Board of Illinois, Independent Precinct Organization. I hope that we can move forward to a policy that does as we all want to do,
30
and
seconds.
toward public good. Thank you.
Ron Chandler.
Walk today. I'm on a self-dish catering company, and it has hurt my business tremendously. The homeless, I donate a lot. I still support the commissioner, this young lady here, and the people here. You are doing a great job. I just wish we can come together and figure out a better solution where we can just smooth everything out, because I know you all can. You all been doing it for the longest. And I want to thank everyone here who voted against it.
The next speaker is Ron Chandler. Ron Chandler. The next speaker is Alicia Spencer. Alicia Spencer. The next speaker is Adriana Marchese from Home Team Pizza. Sahad Mali from Burnham Gas Mart.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Saad Mali. I'm a small businessman, no pun intended. I would like in advance to thank all the commissioners who I anticipate will vote against this law, and for many reasons, because by doing so they are stopping the migration of business from Cook County elsewhere. And this actually has a ripple effect, because the business that migrates outside of Cook County will not be limited to beverages. Once a family or a person enters a business outside of Cook County, he is likely to purchase the rest of his groceries. Second, I believe this law, which is purportedly supposed to discourage the consumption of sugar, is lopsided, because the percentage of sugar in an ounce of a beverage is 1/3 of that in a Snickers bar. And I believe the choice of beverages was taken because it's an easy way, because when you go ounce per ounce, you're taking 67 cents from a 2-liter pop, as opposed maybe to 1.8 cents from a Snickers bar. Also, this law was oblivious to the fact that probably, I don't know the percentage, you can correct me, maybe 30% of the people who are on welfare. To those, we're saying to them, since the link purchases are exempt from the tax, that we really don't care how much sugar you consume. We'll just get the money from somebody else. Again, I will thank in advance all the commissioners who will vote against this ordinance. I'm very honored to be in the presence of such a distinguished group of county commissioners. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam President, is Abdullah Shabazz from Jackpot Mini Mart. Following Mr. Shabazz is Ron Edwards, White House Food and Grill, Jacqueline Sotelo, Gail Williams.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to address this commission and say that I thank you for repealing the tax, and I hope that that would be your decision today or whenever you all decide. When you see that sign up there, that shield that say Cook County, and you look at this face, you look at Cook County. I was born and raised in Chicago, in Cook County. I work every day in the Inglewood community. I'm a veteran of the United States of America, and I've served this country, and I have my honors from the city colleges of Chicago. I'm an honorably discharged veteran, and I work every day in the Inglewood community. And on behalf of the Inglewood community, I want to say to this commission that I hope that you make the right decision, repeal this tax, and I'd like to thank every commissioner that did repeal this tax, because you have heirs in the community that run small businesses. I'm in the small business as a food service manager. I've also worked downtown as a food service manager in Shea Aquarium, and I've been in the food service business for the past 20 years. And I think that this is a good decision for you all to repeal this tax. And so, when you say Cook County, look at this face, because I'm part of Cook County. And I work in the hardest neighborhood, a
along with Arabs and black businessmen, and we serve the people. And your decision to hear the people is a good decision, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Pullman neighborhood, which I've also worked in, and on behalf of the Inglewood neighborhood that I work in. I thank you for your decision, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Angel Mamadi Yanubian. And although I testified to repeal the beverage tax, I want to thank President Preckwinkle for your hard work in getting the bill passed in the first place. Rescinding a bill, like deciding to get married, is a decision not to be entered into lightly. So I congratulate the commissioners for the courage to change their minds and listen to the voice of the people that gave them the power to speak on their behalf. Again, thank you for repealing the beverage tax. Well done, public servants. Thank you.
Thank you. I register you, Steve. And your name is? Jackie Page. Jackie Page, yes?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I would like to say that I am in support of repealing the beverage tax. First, I understand, like Mama D said, that it took a lot of efforts to get this bill repealed. Now, the efforts to get it repealed is one of the things that I want to speak to the board about. If the soda industry had not have come in and put their support behind the repealing of this bill, would you all be listening to the will of the people?
Nope.
Would the will of the people have even been adhered to?
Nope.
I like that you guys are repealing the bill, but I just wish that monies doesn't have to be involved. I wish that the everyday people could come up and say, we don't like this, and be listened to. I don't like that millions of dollars have to be spent in order for the will of the people to be done. We understand that before this tax was even thought of, it was already, the votes were already discussed and the votes were already had. Why are we playing politics here? We understand that monies is what counts here, and I wish we would get to the point where the common everyday person has a voice, because we vote for you guys. We vote for you guys, and I just wish that we wouldn't get to the point where you only listen to us when you need our vote. This vote, it was advertised to be for the poor, and it was advertised to be a tax that addresses obesity, but yet the poor and the obesity, the obese communities, which are the poor communities, were exempt. So that didn't ring true. And also the special interest from Mr. Bloomberg. I mean, what interest does he have? He wants to implement himself in Cook County, but what about Kane and Will and all those other counties? Is he thinking about running? There's a lot of things that are going on here that we, John Q. Public, don't know about. And I hope it's for our good. I'm just saying, you guys need to pay attention to your constituents and not special interest group. I am in support of repealing the tax,
1 minute.
but I just do not support the fact that it took big money to make you all listen to the people.
Thank you.
Now, please, President, I believe that concludes our list of registered speakers.
Chairman?
Okay, hopefully you all enjoyed those clips while I was celebrating. But I need to tell you all what I really think of this tax and everything and how this was in conclusion. But let me get myself another celebratory drink while I'm talking. Because, you know, this is a reason to celebrate here in Cook County, you know. Hold it, y'all. Watch this. goes down so good and so smooth. I love it. Nothing like a good cold bottle of Coca-Cola to really, really free your mind. Up yours, Toni Preckwinkle. Okay, you all, on a serious note, let me hurry up and get into this. Now, from the beginning, I believe that when this tax was instituted, I told you all that I think that this was a very, very, very bad idea. Because this tax was so big and so broad and so sweeping. I don't think, if it was just pop, like I said, I would understand. But it didn't have to include sports drinks and teas and lemonades and fruit punches and vitamin water and all of this kind of stuff, any kind of sweetened beverage. Because certain things have been proven to say that there is more sugar in a little candy bar than there is in a glass of pop. Now, in here, something is we know it's sugar, but we also know that you can use that kind of a defense for any kind of a thing, because there's many people who had gone, who had opposed the tax, who said that it's a health issue. We have too many obese children in our neighborhoods. And anytime they ran these ads, which were paid for by Michael Bloomberg, who was the former mayor of New York, which by him being the former mayor of New York, I don't actually see what he should be doing, dipping into Cook County business. So it seems to me that this is a conflict of interest in somebody's doing something dirty or shady to include Michael Bloomberg in Cook County business. But that's a whole nother conversation. Talking about our children, black and Latin children, are, obese and can have diabetes and everything. But they never, and they filmed a whole lot of these so-called commercials, like in black neighborhoods, but they never talked about like what white children are doing and everything, trying to sell black people on this particular tax. And I mean, this tax was just wrong. And when I supported Toni Preckwinkle when she ran against Todd Stroger, because before Toni Preckwinkle there was Todd Stroger, who was the president of the Cook County Board. What really disappoints me about Toni Preckwinkle is that she ran on the premise that she was going to have less government and that she was going to repeal the Stroger sales tax, which the sales tax in this county, in case you all don't know, is higher than any other sales tax in this nation. She was going to repeal that sales tax as well as have less government and less taxes all in general. So I supported her, and a whole lot of people did, because she actually got in as Cook County Board President. And when she got into office, she did abolish the Stroger sales tax. And then about a year or two later, bought the Stroger sales tax back along with this. Because of this, the election in 2018, me and plus I believe a whole lot of other people are not going to support her in this election, because I believe that she lied to us. And I believe that we were hoodwinked, we were run amok, we were led astray. You know, one man even said that we got took because we believed the promises of a woman, Toni Preckwinkle, the Cook County Board President, who turned out to be a liar. Talking about less taxes, but yet she's so stupid enough to bring back the Stroger sales tax as well as put in this sweetened beverage tax? Well, are you kidding me? And it's basically all because the Cook County Board admitted that they messed up a whole lot of money. They admitted it was a whole lot of wasteful spending. I said it in another video that it is not right for the Cook County Board or any kind of a government to go and waste money. What gives you the right to go and do that and then go and look for the taxpayers to go and foot the bill to fix up your mistake? So I am glad that they threw the sales tax out, and I had to play a little bit of Christmas music because Christmas came early for us in Cook County this year, and it's going to be in effect on December 1st. But until then, we still got to continue on paying these higher prices for beverages, because I wanted this bottle of Coca-Cola because today or this morning, whenever you happen to be watching this video, I wanted to celebrate. But just to celebrate, you will not believe this bottle of Coca-Cola cost me over $3. $1.99 for the item itself, and almost $1 and something in taxes, because you still have to pay that 10% or more of regular Cook County sales tax, and then on top of the beverage tax. So it's almost as much that you pay in taxes as you do for the item, which is being overtaxed here in Cook County. And I'm just wondering, what is it that other cities and states, whether it's Texas, whether it's California, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Indiana, what is it that they know that the Cook County Board in the county of Cook does not know in order to keep taxes down? For instance, both my parents, for all of y'all who don't know me personally, I got two parents of mine who stay in Minnesota. In the state of Minnesota, you have to probably pay sales tax on other things, but you don't even have to pay sales tax on clothes or food. So if I was to buy this shirt in Minnesota and it cost me $15.99, that's exactly what I'm going to pay. $15.99. Hey, boom, right there. It is whatever it is. If I was to go and buy a loaf of bread in the store for $1.99, that's exactly what I am going to pay. $1.99 for this loaf of bread in the store. No more, no excuses, no nothing. It is whatever it is right there. For us, we pay sales taxes on everything that we get within this city and within this county. And it's just too much. All of these different kinds of taxes and all the, we got sweetened beverage tax. We even got a bag tax, 7 cents a bag. I think that's almost like outrageous and inhumane to make people pay for plastic bags whenever they go shopping here in the city of Chicago. It's just too much. Property taxes and state taxes, federal taxes, FICA taxes, alcohol taxes, cigarette taxes. It's just too much. If the government wants money and looking for money, to me, we shouldn't almost have to pay no tax. The government is the one who has the money, who's in charge of the money. If they want money, tell them to go and make more money. They can go and make more money. They can go to a certain bank or a federal bank and actually say a certain amount is in the bank that's not, or whatever, and they can make it happen. They're the government. They make all the money. We don't. Let them deal with it. It should not be for the cities of any state or any city of any county, whenever the county or city goes and messes up money and has all kinds of wasteful spending, that the citizens have to foot the bill and have to deal with it. So I'm glad that this tax is gone. I'm glad that this tax is threw out, and I'm glad that it's gone and repealed forever, forever and ever. Amen. Before I get ready to go, let me take one more celebratory sip. Yeah, Cook County Board members, I'm drinking the very same thing that you said that we shouldn't drink. Some nice, good Coca-Cola. Yeah. So, I'm glad that this is gone. Christmas definitely came early for us this year here in Cook County. I'm so happy, and I'm glad that a whole lot of the Cook County commissioners who voted yes, because the vote was 15-2. I am glad that they decided to come and listen to the people. But one more thing I got to mention before I leave is that it wasn't only the people; it was also big soda, companies like Pepsi, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola that also got involved in this fight, because it was costing them more money in tax in order to deliver this stuff here in Cook County, in order to do business with stores in Cook County. So the big soda companies were starting to lose money, so they got involved in helping to repeal this beverage tax. But I don't think the people didn't want this tax from the very beginning. And I don't believe that before the Cook County Board decided to listen, that Big Soda should have got involved. They should just have listened to the people from the very beginning when we said that this is something that we did not want and it was going to be destructive to the Cook County. They should have just listened. They shouldn't have had to take Big Soda with all kinds of big money. One of the people on tape said it that I got. in order to get involved. They should have listened to the people. And I actually believe before any kind of a government, county, city, or state imposes any kind of law or tax or anything, it should have been a referendum on the ballot asking the public, is this a tax that they would go for and a tax that they would want? So I believe that the government needs to listen much more to the people instead of doing whatever it wants to do, because truly we live in, supposed to be living in a democracy where, you know, it's run by the people and the people have the final say in the final vote. So with that, I'm going to leave it right there. Anybody like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be sure to share this video. Let every single body know that we have a victory in Cook County. Stand up, Cook County. Stand up, Chicago. Stand up, Chicago suburbs. Give yourselves a hand, because we did it. We repealed the Cook County sweetened beverage tax. Give yourself a hand. Christmas came early for all of us in Cook County this year. So with that, I'd like to thank you. Thank you all. It's been a long 3 days for me. So right now I'm about to get off of here, get myself some rest, and I will see everybody on the next video. Peace and blessings to all.